This is 27-year-old Alina Arancibia, arrested in Boca Raton, Florida, on May 7, 2025. The facts are straightforward. Boca Raton officers responded to a local pawn shop after staff reported a fraudulent purchase in progress. The suspect attempted to buy a Rolex Submariner valued at $12,300 using a fake driver's license and a matching credit card. When the employee scanned the rear barcode, it returned a different name and address. The suspect lied about her identity throughout the encounter until a fingerprint scanner revealed her true name. This single transaction triggered 3 distinct Florida statutes, and her post-detention choices dramatically expanded her criminal exposure.
You good for a second?
Can you run me a Connecticut DL?
Hey, how's it going, guys? So what's going on? Yeah.
So she came in with a plan to purchase a Rolex watch, and she tried to use a fake ID and the credit card name matching to fake ID. When I scanned the ID, came out different name and address in my system, so I figured she is trying to scam us. I think she's working with somebody. She texting to some, maybe she had like a boss on top of her.
Did you give the IDs back to?
I gave it to police officer.
Okay, give it to them. Okay, so what was she? How much was she supposed to be purchasing this one?
12,300 total purchase of the Rolex watch.
So she came in for 12,300. What kind of Rolex was
It's
it?
a Rolex Submariner.
What was it?
A Rolex Submariner.
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 Okay, and then she presented you. What kind of ID was it?
It's a. Don't remember, but you're.
Okay, I'll take a look at it. You don't remember what state it was out of, anything like that. But you said it looked like her, but when you ran it, the address was different.
Address and name was different. When I scanned it, barcode on the back.
Okay. All right, let me go take a look at it. Yep.
So, for example, what is in our system, Kimberly Harrison, and the ID itself, Miranda Emily, which matching the card.
Okay.
And completely different address, and the IDs look weird.
Okay, let me take a look at it. Ma'am, can you stay off your phone, please? What's that?
What's the situation?
Situation?
What's up?
Cops.
Cops what?
I don't know.
I told her she's detained right now. The DL's not coming back on anything.
Okay. So, ma'am, stay off your phone, okay? All right? I need you to just have a seat over here, and I need to read something to you before we talk to you, okay? Okay, these are your rights. You speak English fully and understand it? Okay, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in the court of law. You have the right to talk to a lawyer and have him or her present while you are being questioned. If you cannot afford to hire a lawyer, one will be appointed to represent you before any questions if you wish. You can decide at any time to exercise these rights and not answer any questions. You understand that? Okay, so what's going on?
Nothing. I'm here to buy a watch.
Okay. So you came in to buy the Rolex watch?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
I mean, so what's the process? Like, what, are you guys gonna like?
So you're being detained right now
What does
because
that mean?
you're not free to leave.
So am I going to jail?
That's the process we're going through. That's why I'm asking you questions so I can figure out what's going on, because I can't just come into a situation and arrest you, right?
Right.
Okay. So, can I see those? Okay, so you came in and you presented these 2 things to them, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have any documentation that has your right information on it?
No.
Okay. And who is this on the driver's license?
That's me.
This is you?
That's,
Okay. And this is the only ID that you have? So you're telling me that your name is Emily Miranda?
I'm not saying anything.
Okay.
There's nobody that name or date of birth.
What's your date of birth?
It's on the ID.
Okay. So you understand how this is becoming kind of suspicious at this point because you don't even know what your date of birth is?
1997.
Okay. And what is your name and your address?
It's 277 Farm Road, Richfield, Connecticut.
Okay.
Any unit with a available fingerprint scanner for Alpha 35.
All right, just hang out with her for a minute. I want to see what their system came back with, okay? Did she give you this at any time to try to purchase anything?
Yes.
Okay, and when you ran it, what happened?
I didn't run the card. I realized that it's not. When I did scan, without this feature, using a barcode on the ID, this
And it came up with that name that you showed me, right?
Yeah. That's it. After this, I understood already. You see here.
I'm sorry, I just need to take a look. All right, thank you. Can you just leave that up in case I just need it one more time?
Sure.
All right. All right, thank you. All right, ma'am. So is that the story you're sticking with? That this is your real ID, this is your real name, this is your real date of birth?
Mm-hmm.
Yes?
I actually don't have nothing else to say.
You don't have nothing else to say?
No.
Okay. All right, just hold that for a second. Stand up for me for a second. You're just being detained as of right now. I'm just going to put you in handcuffs, okay? All right, just have a seat for a second until the other officer gets here, okay? You good for a second, Chris Weiser, where I can look up that other ID that they have?
I am.
All right, I'll be right back. Yeah, when they scan this, someone else's name popped up, but that doesn't come back to anything either.
Officer 37 10 check.
This number comes... Was that us? This comes back to nothing. But when they scan the actual barcode, it comes back to a different name as well. Which also comes back to nothing. That ID number comes back to nothing as well.
Yeah. Okay.
Which... Yeah, no, different ID number.
The plot thickens.
So what? Am I under arrest? Am I under arrest?
Yeah, you were detained.
Okay, so what is the difference between being detained and being under arrest?
Because the investigation is still ongoing.
What investigation?
The investigation for the fake ID.
Okay, so
The
I
fake
can-
credit card.
okay, so I can still use my phone to
You
call
can,
my lawyer.
Nope.
Yes, I can.
Cut all crooked names. You look at it.
It's like Miranda rights, Miranda. Miranda.
Decide. I'm gonna read you your rights, literally.
You're talking about this in the back?
Yeah, just the whole thing looks crooked.
Yeah, the
You're
cuts.
missing.
It's cut slanted
Yeah.
too.
I just request a refund. See the receipt.
What's up, man? Hey, so she presented this. They scanned it, came back to another name as well. It comes back to nothing for us, so just need to try to figure out who she is. Is it easier to do while she's sitting, or you want us to have her stand up? How's that? Sit down?
If she's in cuffs, I'll just stand up.
Alright, stand up for us. Oh, right here. Stay right here. Alright, you can have a seat.
You been arrested before?
She doesn't want to talk.
I don't want to have answering questions.
I think I guess.
What do we got for the first name?
Lena Aranciba, is her last name?
Lena A.
Sound about right?
I don't know.
Does it come back with Florida ID?
Arrested for battery by Lakeshore.
Does it have like a DL number or a picture?
Just tears back, tap to your left hand.
I don't know which way left is. No, that's right. No, that's left.
One closer to you.
Yeah.
Is there a picture, DL number?
No, there isn't gonna be a picture. At least not I can access. But
Do you have a DL number?
yes, the scars marked tattoos. Yeah, I got her social birthday.
right, go with spell the first name for me.
Just search.
Alpha Lima.
Just one second.
Alpha Lima, India November Alpha.
Alpha Lima,
India November Alpha.
middle initial,
None.
last name.
Alpha Romeo, Echo November, Charlie India, Bravo India,
You're
Alpha.
going too fast. I'm not a dispatcher. Go ahead again.
ARENCIBIA.
All right, let me go look it up real quick, see if I can find something a picture for.
And he's history enough cover.
The first charge arises under Florida Statute 817.61, fraudulent use of a credit card. The statute requires 3 elements: use of a credit card, intent to defraud the merchant, and obtaining or attempting to obtain something of value. Because the attempted purchase exceeded $100 within a 6-month period, the offense is elevated to a third-degree felony under Section 817.67 subsection 2, exposing the defendant to up to 5 years in state prison and a $5,000 fine. The second charge falls under Florida Statute 322.212, subsection 1, paragraph A, which criminalizes the knowing possession of a forged, fictitious, or counterfeit driver's license. The knowledge element is critical here. Florida courts have consistently held that a defendant's inability to recall basic identifying information on the document, such as date of birth, constitutes powerful circumstantial evidence of knowing possession. This offense is also a third-degree felony. The third charge invokes Florida Statute 901.36, subsection 1, which prohibits a person who has been arrested or lawfully detained from giving a false name to law enforcement. The Florida Supreme Court clarified in DKD versus State that this statute applies only after lawful detention has been established, not during consensual encounters. Here, lawful detention was unquestionably established under Terry versus Ohio, where reasonable suspicion was supplied by the pawn shop employee's direct observation of mismatched identification documents. The constitutional framework deserves close attention. Under Miranda versus Arizona, custodial interrogation requires advisement of rights. The officer in this case administered Miranda warnings before they were strictly required, a procedural caution that insulates the prosecution from any later motion to suppress under the exclusionary rule. Critically, Miranda protects the right to silence, but it does not protect false speech. The Supreme Court held in Brogan versus United States that the Fifth Amendment's protection against self-incrimination does not include a right to lie. This is where the suspect's case collapses. After receiving Miranda warnings, she had 2 legally protective options: invoke silence or request counsel. She chose neither. By continuing to assert a false identity after lawful detention and after rights advisement, she transformed what would have been 2 felony charges into a 3-count case, adding a misdemeanor conviction that carries up to 1 additional year of jail exposure and a permanent criminal record.
All right, you can. Do you have anything on you that's going to poke us, stick us, or anything like that that we need to know about?
No.
All right, you are under arrest. Stand up.
Step over here. Yeah.
He's now on 32nd. Go ahead and north on bed.
Alpha
34 Street. Square. Thank you.
Did the lobby closet get handled, or does that need to be reassigned?
Okay, jewelry on beside your nose ring?
No.
Earrings, what about piercing? Anything else? No other piercings?
Do you want to get those piercings out at in booking?
Yeah.
All right.
I'll look that up there. Or right down there.
Probably has her ID in there now. On the back of her phone.
Probably the back of the phone.
Here, I'll grab this stuff since you're taking out. All right, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Let me unlock it. I'll unlock it.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I had to talk loud because the motorcycle. Alpha 37, white female 1015. All right, you want to meet me up there?
I'll meet you up there.
Appreciate you. The other officer told you that when he took your fingerprints? Oh yeah, I mean he runs the fingerprint scanner, so yeah, more than likely it does. I said he runs the scanner and everything, so yeah, probably it does. Yeah, like he knows the process of all that, so when your fingerprints get scanned, it all gets sent to them.
It gets sent to the FBI
Mm-hmm.
for everybody.
Yep.
Like even misdemeanor.
Well, I mean, you don't have a misdemeanor. You got a couple charges.
So what?
You have a couple charges. I can let you know what they are once we get them back in booking.
So what are the charges?
I don't know exactly everything, but you had a fake ID, which is not a misdemeanor. You provided a false name, which is also not, which is, you know, you try to purchase something fraudulently with a fraudulent credit card.
So they give you a bond here?
I don't know. When you go up to the county jail, when you talk to the judge, they issue all that stuff. All right, ma'am, you're going to come out. She's going to ask you some questions on the computer as far as your name, date of birth, and where you live is at. Please give her the right information so we already have it, so. What's that? That was open.
Let's stand up next to this wall.
The grading reflects these dynamics. The lead officer earns an A- for proper articulation of reasonable suspicion, prophylactic Miranda compliance, accurate explanation of the detention versus arrest distinction, and proportional escalation of force. The pawn shop employee earns an A for using rear barcode verification, preserving evidence, and avoiding direct confrontation. The suspect earns a D for sustained post-Miranda deception, partially mitigated by physical non-resistance. The lesson from this case is precise and worth remembering. When lawfully detained, the Fifth Amendment protects what you do not say, not what you fabricate. Silence is a constitutional right. Deception is a separate crime. A suspect facing 2 felonies who invokes silence and counsel preserves her legal options. A suspect who chooses to lie under those same circumstances, as occurred here, manufactures additional charges and forecloses negotiating leverage before the case ever reaches a prosecutor's desk. Let us know in the comments if there is an interaction or legal topic you would like analyzed next. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe for more legal breakdowns of police interactions.